we talk about leaders being courageous, and one of the most important areas that we as leaders have to demonstrate our courage is in the need to be liked. Specifically, don't have a need to be liked. You are a leader, you're a supervisor, you make decisions that are often going to be unpopular. And in those moments, that's not your space to cave when the loudest voice objects or people are frustrated because they didn't do what you wanted them to do. It's to hold firm and see your decision through. And that means that there are going to be times when people just don't like you. Don't go for being liked. Try to earn their respect first. 9 times out of 10, they're going to like you too. I want to talk to you about ways, though, to do that. To really have that internal resolve when you have to be unpopular, you got to be accountable, you got to make the decision, you know you're going to make people unhappy. What do you do? I want to start with the story of one of my heroes. It's my dad. He was my high school principal. He was often brought into institutions to help do transformations with the curriculum, with the performance outcomes, with student populations. He was a change agent. So he'd show up at school like the first few days and he'd get excited talking about mission, vision, values, high expectations, and everybody, nods and gets excited until that he starts having those conversations, starts pushing back, starts challenging, why are we doing it this way? We should be doing it this way. Then suddenly people, and of course their egos, get a little defensive. So he was, again, respected, well-liked, but that wasn't always the case. Up front, he had to make a lot of people unhappy in order to help the transformation. And so, what I learned by following his leadership style is that you don't go for like first. Like will follow. You go through respect. You have high expectations, you have standards, you have conversations, you have accountability. In order to feel good about that and feel confident, there are 3 things you really have to do. The first is you have to be able to validate yourself. You can't go around when you're making really difficult decisions trying to pull people together and get validation from people who may or may not validate you. You have to trust that your decisions, the direction that you're headed, the things that you're doing, you have got to validate yourself. Remind yourself it is the right thing to do. And I always wonder about that phrase, the right thing to do. How do I know it's the right thing to do? Because it's aligned with the mission, it's aligned with our values, it's aligned with our goals, and it's the next step, best step towards integrity. And if I can answer yes to that, then I can validate myself that I am doing the right thing in this situation. So that's number 1. Don't seek validation from other people, especially people who disagree with you. Get validation from within. And the second thing is have an advisory board. Not necessarily people that you work with, people who are outside of your inner circle, people you can go to with questions and decisions and discussions before you have to make tough calls. I have a personal advisory board. I have people I reach out to in very specific areas of my life when I'm about to make a decision, just to check my thinking on a situation, especially if I know it's going to be an unpopular situation or could be unpopular. I like to go to my trusted advisory board. And if you don't have an advisory board, my challenge to you is think about the people who you like and respect. Think about how you can seek out their insight, how you can grab their wisdom when you're making tough choices. Know who they are, name them, claim them, and before you have to make a really big uncertain decision that you're not feeling 100% about, go to them. Just bounce some ideas. So important to have a personal advisory board. The next thing, at various times of your career, you're going to want to seek input from the people around you to make sure that your leadership is landing. So this is step 3. Have an informal 360 review process. I have abandoned the idea that 360s, the traditional way we think about them in corporations, are helpful. You get anonymous feedback on your performance. Sometimes it can feel like a big smear evaluation. You get a lot of chit chat, and it's not really helpful because people don't have the confidence and courage. They don't want to be found out. So what I like to do is just go to about 10 people, 360 degrees around me, and just ask them, what are the words that you use to describe me, and where do you think I could improve? And just see what type of information comes back. It is an email. It is super cheap. All it costs is your time, and you get insight that can either confirm you're on the right path or you might learn something about your style. And be cautious too. If people only say good things about you, they may not trust you fully with that information. And so you may have to have a one-on-one conversation or maybe really reflect inward, thinking about the trust that you have in these relationships and how you can go about building. So yes, you are going to have to make unpopular decisions. That's just what leadership is. all the easy decisions are made prior to getting to your desk. You're going to have to make the ones where their uncertainty exists. And inevitably, somebody isn't going to like the choices that you made. So learn how to validate yourself, go to your advisory board, and finally, there are times in your career too that you need an informal 360 just to check in with yourself. Don't hesitate to do that. So helpful. I want to help you actualize. I want you to be the actual in your world. And what that means is I want you to be that commanding general on the battlefield that's going to drive results, that's going to get that win and that victory. But I also want you to be the caring, nurturing leader that I know you can be, that can help transform a group of individuals into a team. And if you cannot seek validation from the people around you, if you can make difficult decisions and sit in the discomfort as maybe people are, biting at your heels or criticizing your choices, you're going to find confidence and strength in your leadership. I'd love to hear from you. Anything additional to add to this conversation? If you could put it in the comments below, please tell me, how do you sit with the discomfort of being not popular at work, knowing that you're doing the right thing, but it's not always landing exactly as you hope? I would love to see some of the tactics that you have. And two, if you like this content, subscribe to this channel. Please, the actual Angie, I am here to help support your growth and development as a leader. Feel free to share this episode too with people that you know are struggling right now with trying to not be liked and trying to earn respect. See you soon.